Well, floorball fans, it's almost time to resume the regular season of the 2023 NAFL. Floorball fans, we're so glad to have you back. We're coming to you live from Winter Haven, Florida, as the Florida Vikings get ready to take on the Minnesota Growlers in their own home territory. Floorball fans, these are two of the most exciting teams to watch in the North American Floorball League, both coming in with a record of 4-1. The last time these teams met, it was in the inaugural game of the 2023 season when the Minnesota Growlers pulled off a stunning 10-7 victory over the reigning Troy Cup champs, Vikings. But the Vikings have brought a lot of new talent today. Joining their squad includes last year's captain Pepe Juha and top Swedish men's national team performers such as Nicholas Ramirez, Kevin Hogland, and Albin Hedstall. The Minnesota Growlers going to have to find a way to respond to this new talent. They've got a lot of high-performing individuals. Currently third in the scoring race in the NAFL is the Minnesota Growlers' own Ilmari Lehtinen with 16 points coming from 6 goals and 10 assists. They're a pass-heavy offense, whereas the Florida Vikings thrive on defensive counterattacks. They know how to speed up the pace of play, meaning we've got two very different strategies. It's going to be exciting to see how they clash on the court. Florida currently beginning the match here with some antics for their own home court, introducing their mascot onto the court. This is Florida's second time hosting a week of play in the North American Floorball League. Their first this season. We've just gotten done with the first half of the regular season, a 5-day stretch played at Southwestern University in Georgetown, Texas. Now begins the Florida week of play before finally the North American Floorball League will head back to Fort Worth, Texas, to the NITEC Sports Center for the conclusion of the season, the playoffs, and of course, the Troy Cup final. And floorball fans, with the announcement of the starting lineups, it's almost time to begin our second week of floorball action here in the North American Floorball League. And now it's about time to head down to the court after the anthem. Getting ready for the face-off. It'll be number 17, Emil Mattsson, against number 26, Tuukka Hiltunen. The players preparing. And recovery here by the Florida Vikings. Going to be chipped to the far wall here. Linus Malmstrom, number 77, fielding the ball. He'll go with the pass to Ramirez on the close wing. Off the wall to Mattsson. He's got Auroila on defense. Ramirez now behind the half-court line, looking to set up the Vikings offense. Down to Mattsson, driving in close. Trying to get a pass off, stolen there by Björninen. Malmstrom there to stop it up. Mattsson now driving closer to the goal. The pass to Ramirez, saved by number 77, Pasi Arvinen. We go with the pass to Jipa Auroila, number 64. Second line already coming to the court here for the Florida Vikings. Santuleto. We go with the pass to number 19, Kuzmarski. Back to Leto. Haglund there on defense for the Vikings, another Swedish men's national team addition to the Vikings team. Kotuloto there, defending the possession physically. Williamson going to the ground. Rene Kotuloto, far wing, off the wall, trying to find himself. Instead, Haglund there to stop it up. Kotuloto, far side, kicked away by Lukas Jalovi. And it's a mad grab for possession, still on the back wall. Santuleto able to get it out to his man, Kuzmarski, sailing into the far corner there. Santuleto with some support there from Kuzmarski. He'll pass to Hilton, and Williamson trying to capitalize, but he's able to get it to Emily Björninen. Jipa Auroila looking for the call. He'll find it. It's going to be a free hit awarded here to the Minnesota Growlers. Emily Björninen on the close wing. He's got Kopetsky on defense. The pass to Auroila. Deep pass down, intercepted there by Williamson. It's going to be a free hit awarded here to the Minnesota Growlers. Hiltunen taking the pass. It goes off the legs there of number 10, Pepa Juha, returning captain from last season for the Vikings squad. His shot attempt saved there by Eetu Vanjonpa. Vanjonpa with the pass to Auroila. The Growlers in advantage. Jipa Auroila, chip pass, close wing to Björninen, off the wall. We go back to Vanjonpa. Wojtek Janacek able to get a stick there, able to intercept the pass. Kopetsky cycling around midcourt. The pass down the line to Juha. It's good. Number 10, Pepa Juha. Last year's league MVP, Troy Cup champion. Able to score a goal within the first 3 minutes of his return to the Florida Vikings squad. With that Pepa Juha goal, it's 17 minutes, 50 seconds still to go in the first. Your score now, Florida Vikings 1, Minnesota Growlers 0. Pepa Juha, of course, a familiar face to any fans from last season of the North American Floorball League, scoring 56 points in league play last season, 34 goals and 22 assists in 14 games. He also was awarded All-NAFL first-team honors during the inaugural season. The ball chipped away there by Santuleto, sailing out of bounds. It's going to be a Growlers hit-in. Kuzmarski. Go with the pass to Leto, far wing. Ole Strum starting to press up, trying to cut off the back route. The pass intercepted there by Malmstrom. Ole Strum to Mattsson in the center, saved by number 77, Pasi Arvinen. Max Lindborg at midcourt, the pass to Jalovi. Back to Lindborg, down to Ole Strum. Mattsson driving in close, trying to chip it to Malmstrom, saved. Goes off the body there of Santuleto. It's going to be a hit awarded here to the Florida Vikings. Malmstrom, pass in the box. Ole Strum deflected off the body of Kuzmarski. Now it's Lindborg on the close wing. He'll go to Mattsson. Take his time. Pass to Lukas Jalovi. Malmstrom, far side. Another pass blocked off the body of Leto. Recovered by Ole Strum. Goes off the foot of his own man Jalovi. Emil Mattsson there to recover for the Vikings. New line returning to the court here. Another new addition, number 26, Albin Hedstall. A player from Stockholm for Kalmarsund SSL. He's played on the Swedish U19 and U23 teams. He's certainly a force to watch for here as another new addition to the Florida Vikings squad. Hidstall, far corner. They'll go with a pass. Haugland chipping it over the goal. Tuukka Hiltunen anticipating the ball. Able to chip it away. Haugland still able to get it in to Hidstall. That ball saved there by Pasi Arvinen. Eetu Vanjonpa, the deep pass down to Ilomari Lehtinen. The spin around Williamson, shot sailing wide left, out of bounds. It's going to be a Florida Vikings hit-in. The Growlers nearly gaining some traction there on offense. But now it's going to be the Florida Vikings looking to continue the pressure here early in the first period. And it's Lindborg. We go with the pass, far wing. Jalovi driving in. Trying to find Kopetsky. The ball sailing out of bounds as he tries to field it. It's going to be a Minnesota Growlers hit-in. Number 53, Santuleto with a pass to Rene Kotelwolto. It's Kuzmarski, Leto, and Kotelwolto in the backcourt here for the Growlers. Coming in close, driving towards the center. We'll go with the pass back out to Santuleto. The pass deep to Valtteri Rantala. Able to get the ball away from Jalovi. Back out to Santuleto. Kopetsky continuing the press, increasing the pressure. Beppe Juha there on a steal. Far side taken back by Santuleto. The spin around, working desperately. It's going to be a free hit awarded to the Minnesota Growlers there off the Florida Vikings' aggressive defense. Tuukka Hiltunen set to take it. Down to Jipao Ruela, working with Järninen. Eetu Vanjonpa, the pass back to Auroila. Down to Järninen, driving, trying to get a pass off to Ilomari Lehtinen. The ball chipped out of bounds there by Nicholas Ramirez. It'll be a hit-in here for Minnesota. Behind the goal, Lehtinen back to Järninen. Ramirez on some tight defense there, chipped away by Matson. The ball going out of bounds. It's going to be a Vikings hit-in. Ramirez, the two-time world champion with the Swedish men's national team. One of the biggest additions to the Florida Vikings team. Backing off there after some pressure from Järninen. He'll send it down. Matson trying to get a pass off. Goes off the body there of Tuukka Hiltunen. Now it's a mag grab in the center of the Growlers territory. Malmström getting a pass to Williamson. Sails far left of the goal. Emil Matson now. The pass down to Ramirez. Florida still going to be able to continue an offensive drive here. Matson driving in close. The shot attempt saved by Pasi Arvinen. Chipped off the wall there by Vanjonpa against Williamson. Williamson working hard to block out there. It's going to be a free hit awarded to the Florida Vikings. Number 26, Albin Hidstall. Pass off the wall. Kopetsky shot attempt saved there by Kyle Kuzmarski. Haugland another attempt saved again by Kuzmarski. Now it's Hugo Rovinen, the former Florida Viking there. Able to chip the ball to Kuzmarski, but now it's going to be Hidstall on the steal. Jalovi to Lindborg. Missed that ball for a pass opportunity. Rovinen not going to press too hard. Albin Hidstall now, close wing, looking for an opportunity from three-quarters court. Deep pass down to Williamson. Chipped up, goes off the body of Kuzmarski. Great field player defense here from the Growlers. Rovinen now, chipping the ball to the side. It's going to be awarded here to the Growlers off of an incorrect hit. Number 96, Emily Järninen setting up the ball. He's got Jipao Ruela for support. He'll try to get a shot off. Instead, just knocks the stick of Wojtek Janacek out of his hands. Now it's Kopetsky and Juha on the far side. A check-heavy line here for the Florida Vikings. One of the best benefits of their team last season that helped lead them to the Troy Cup was a lot of international diversity on their team. It led to greater cohesion because the teams had to work harder to communicate with one another. And they didn't have a lot of experience before the season, meaning they were playing double time to get their chemistry up. Jipao Ruela, the pass to Hiltunen, far side. Hiltunen will go with the pass back to Vanjonpa. Vanjonpa, deep pass down, looking for Lehtinen. Ramirez getting there first. The ball sailing out of bounds. It's going to be a Minnesota hit-in. Jipao Ruela. Go off the wall. Lehtinen Gets it back around Ramirez. Ramirez able to press, though. Just a moment of hesitation there from Yipao Ruela. Ramirez going to the ground, but it's going to be a hit awarded to the Florida Vikings before Tuukka Hiltunen get a shot attempt off. Lindborg takes it with a pass to Matson. Over to Jalovi. Down to Linus Malmstrom. Malmstrom, of course, currently the scoring leader in the NAFL with 20 points on the season, also still serving as team captain of the Florida Vikings. He's certainly been a big performer so far. We'll see if he can continue that performance tonight here on the already star-studded Florida Vikings team. Max Lindborg coming around now. Pass far side, Jalovi. Lukas Jalovi to Malmstrom in the box, looking for Matson. Unable to get the timing right for a shot attempt. He'll find it back out to Malmstrom. Over to Jalovi. Shot attempt goes off the body there of Valtteri Rantala. It's going to be a Florida Vikings hit in. Malmstrom, another shot going off the body of Rantala. The pass back down to Jalovi. Close court. Finds Max Lindberg. Ole Strom to Malmstrom. Shot wide right. It'll be a face-off in the far corner there after the ball artificially stopped accidentally by the referee. Number 26, Alvin Hedstall, set to take it here for the Vikings. Yipao Ruela there for Minnesota. Chip to the corner. Haugland there to take it. Haugland, ball chipped up in the air, caught by Pasi Arvinen. He'll pass to Eetu Vanjonpa. Haugland starting a heavy press, trying to find out Ruela. The ball bouncing up and off the boards, out of bounds. Florida to take the hit in here. Kevin Haugland, the pass to Williamson. Pass cross court, looking for Ramirez, but off enough that the Growlers able to steal it. Ilmari Lehtinen looking around now to the center. Tuukka Hiltunen, Joao Ruela trying to get the angle on Williamson. Free hit awarded here to the Minnesota Growlers. Yipao Ruela, the pass to Bjerninen. Shot saved by Peter Slad. Ilmari Lehtinen here in the corner against Alvin Hedstall. The hit's going to be awarded to the Florida Vikings. Nicholas Ramirez coming now. Taking it slow. Ilmari Lehtinen not pressing yet. The pass to Haugland in the center. Shot goes off the body of his own man, Luke Williamson. Yipao Ruela now behind his own goal. Haugland with the full court press down the line to Eetu Vanjonpa. Able to save it around the boards. Chip to Tuukka Hiltunen. Hiltunen driving down. Bjerninen, the shot is good. Nicholas Ramirez chipping it away. Emily Bjerninen just waiting for the opportunity. Peter Slad taken away off the misdirection of the play. It's a tie ball game here with 11 minutes, 20 seconds still remaining in the first period. Your score now, Florida Vikings 1, Minnesota Growlers 1. So far this game, it's been a defensive matchup between Haugland's full court presses and the great field player defense close to the box, close to the crease by the Minnesota Growlers, keeping the score low so far this game. We'll see after this faceoff if that's set to change. Kopetsky on Rantala, recovery by Minnesota off the faceoff. Pass intercepted, Wojtek Janacek to Pepe Juha. He'll lose a bit of control. Janacek able to recover with a pass out to Lindborg. Over to Jalovi, far wing, back to Lindborg. Kopetsky, close wing, trying to get the angle around Rovinen. We go far side, over to Jalovi. He'll lose a bit of control, able to pass back out to Kopetsky. Kopetsky backing up there. Double team defense, but it leaves Jalovi open. Pass blocked off the stick of Kotelwoto. Back to Wojtek Janacek in his own backcourt. Kopetsky coming around now. Back to Janacek. Kopetsky, far side to Jalovi. Santiletto there on the defense, trying to chip it away off the backboards. He'll still be able to get it to Kopetsky. That pass sailing off the foot there of Hugo Rovinen. Up, and away over the boards. Both teams making substitutions. It's going to be Minnesota's ball to bring us back in. Captain Yipao Ruela now discussing with the referees. Now the call changed. It's a Florida Vikings hit. The pass to Malmstrom. Nearly deflected there by Hiltonen. Off the wall, the pass to Ramirez. Bringing it in now, looking for a man to pass to. He's got Matson towards center court. Williamson is a back route, facing some pressure from Bjerninen. Ramirez instead deciding to take it down himself. But it's going to be a hit awarded here to the Minnesota Growlers. Just under 10 minutes remaining here, 9:52 to go in the first. And it's Auruela to Hiltonen. Vanjonpa back to Auruela. Always throw him the up man here for the defense. Deep pass down to Ilomari Lehtinen towards the boards. Fighting there for possession with Ramirez. Bjerninen able to take it. Doesn't matter anyways. It's going to be a Growlers free hit. Bjerninen set to take it. Over to Auruela. Shot goes off the body there of Ramirez. Now on the offensive. Ramirez driving down. Trying to get the angle on Bjerninen, but will instead come away with the steal. Over to Lehtinen. Lehtinen facing double team coverage. Still able to pass to Bjerninen. Malmstrom there, chipping it into the corner. Smooth move, sends Bjerninen to the ground. Malmstrom with a lot of speed on the offensive, driving down, trying to get around Vanjonpa. Able to get a shot off, but it sails wide right. Malmstrom still recovering the ball, chipped away there by Eetu Vanjonpa to end the offensive drive. Yipa Auruela slowing things down, subbing out for his team, will pass to Santoleto. Hogland. Another heavy press from the pass off the wall, trying to find Kotuluoto, instead stolen by Jalovi. Williamson, Dadstall, looking back for Jalovi, but instead it sails into the far corner. Santoleto there with the steal, trying to keep it away from Kevin Hogland. Jalovi there for support. Hogland, he'll send it down deep to Max Lindborg, number 88. Albin Hedstall driving in. Over to Hogland, trying to find his man in the box there. Hedstall instead. Rantala on the recovery. His shot sailing high out of bounds. It'll be a Florida Vikings hit in. Ball getting sent to the far corner there. Williamson to Ramirez. Coming down the close wing, taking his time, the pass to Kopetsky. And Bjerninen with the steal, able to get it over to Vanjonpa. And now it's Yipa Auruela. Auruela, deep pass down to Lehtinen. And trying to get it over to Auruela. It's going to be on Juha. Juha boxing him out, but it's going to be a Growlers free hit. Hiltonen and Lehtinen to take it. Hiltonen back to Lehtinen. Chipped out of bounds there by Liam Williamson, number 23. Ilmari Lehtinen set to take it again here for the Growlers. Hiltonen off the wall. He'll find Eetu Vanjonpa. Bjerninen not expecting it. Over to Wojtek Janacek. Saved by Pasi Arvinen. Yipa Auruela taking it to the corner off the wall. Hiltonen chipping it cross court to Eetu Vanjonpa. Yipa Auruela behind his own goal. Kopetsky staying in the Minnesota goalkeeper's box. Rene Kotuluoto able to get the angle on Kopetsky, force him to retreat and sub out for number 87, Ole Strum. Kotuluoto to Kosmarski. Taking it slow. Ole Strum starting the press. And Santoleto off the far boards. Chipped up by Jalovi. Malmstrom now getting it to Ole Strum. And it's good. Able to get around to the left wing of Pasi Arvinen. Ole Strum, right place, right time. A lot of hustle always from Strum. It pays off here. No longer a tie ball game. 7 minutes, 5 seconds still remaining in the first period. Your score now, Florida Vikings 2 versus the Minnesota Growlers 1. And heading back down now for the face-off. It'll be number 79, Valtteri Rantala here against number 26, Albin Hedstall for the Florida Vikings. Play beginning. Going to be stopped here. Pasiarvinen not fully set and ready for the face-off in the Minnesota backcourt. And after Järvinen fixing his face mask, now it's going to be time for the face-off again between Rantala and Hedstall. Hard-fought recovery there by the Minnesota Growlers. Getting off to a slower start than their first match against the Florida Vikings in terms of the first period. Of course, that game still high-scoring for both teams when the Growlers came away 10-7, handing the Florida Vikings their only loss of the season. Minnesota certainly going to be hungry for another win now to remain undefeated against the Vikings this season. Albin Hedstall shot sailing wide right. Haugland with the recovery out to Ramirez. Haugland sending it behind the goal line over to Hedstall. Stolen by Santoleto. Leto spinning around. Hedstall on him tight. It's going to be a hit awarded here to the Growlers off of that tight-knit defense. Auroila to Bjerninen. Coming down far corner, Ilmari Lehtinen. And Ramirez there with the steal. Getting the angle on Hiltonen, driving down at midcourt over to Wojtek Janacek. To Haugland, chipped there off the foot of Jipa Auroila. Haugland still with possession, the pass out to Max Lindborg. Ilmari Lehtinen starting a full court press here for the Minnesota Growlers. Cross court to Lukas Jalovi. Into Pepe Juha, shot sailing just wide right. Looks like it might have gotten deflected there. The steal by Auroila from Kopetsky's intended pass to Janacek. And now Tuukka Hiltunen. Cross court pass to Vanjonpa here for the Growlers. Auroila to Bjerninen. Kopetsky on him tight. He'll be forced out of bounds. It's going to be a Growlers hit here off a push call. Taking some time here, have to repair the boards on the close wing. Auroila to Vanjonpa. Pass down deep, around the bend. Trying to find Ilmari Lehtinen. Pass chipped there off the stick of Lindborg. Hit awarded to the Minnesota Growlers in the far corner. Hiltunen trying to find the ball, but he's got double-team defense between Jalovi and Janacek. Ball up in the air. Trying to find his way to Juha instead. Sent down the line. Janacek on Vanjonpa. Max Lindborg having to recover. Now it's Lukas Jalovi with some room to run. He'll go to Juha. The shot just wide left. Janacek able to get there first. He'll try to send a pass down. Pepe Juha able to get there first before Auroila. The hit awarded to the Florida Vikings here. Both teams setting out new lines here before play resumes. Just under 5 minutes remaining in the first period. The Florida Vikings still with a 1-goal lead. Emil Mattsson set to take it here for the Vikings. In the center to Williamson. Williamson shot wide right. Olestrum recovering. Mattsson to Malmström. Goes off the body there of Kotulwolto. Chipped up in the air. Olestrum on Kotulwolto. High stick call means it's going to be a Minnesota ball. Kuzmarski with Leto here. Deep pass down to Valtteri Rantala. Chipped off the foot there of Linus Malmström. Off the wall, Kotulwolto with a save, but it's back to Malmström. Driving down, facing defense from Leto. The pass recovered by Hugo Rovinen. Rantala returning the offensive here. The pass kicked there by Kotulwolto. Hit awarded to the Minnesota Growlers. It's been a lot of free hits awarded to Minnesota in a row here. A lot of aggressive physical play from the Florida Vikings. Not always paying off when it comes to possession changes. 4:32 left on the clock here as Tuukka Hiltunen set to take it with help from Jipa Auroila. And sending it down deep, Lehtinen unable to get the timing right to get a shot attempt off, but he still has possession of the ball. Facing double team, trying to get it to Bjerninen. Kevin Haugland desperately trying to recover. It's still anyone's ball. Bjerninen finally coming away with it with some breathing room. He'll juke around Williamson, trying to get the angle on Hedstall. It's good. Emily Bjerninen with another goal to make it a tie ball game once again. With 4 minutes, 11 seconds still remaining in the first period. It's shaping up to be a close one. Your score, Florida Vikings 2, Minnesota Growlers 2. Emily Bjernen, top scorer for the Lawton Pelicans club last season, and he came in second in his division in scoring. We're certainly seeing that kind of performance this season with his incredible help here for the Growlers offense. The Florida Vikings bringing out familiar face Pepa Juha here for the faceoff. Juha, of course, a fan favorite, Czech floorballer. And Pasi Arvinen recovering the immediate Juha shot attempt. It's going to be the Growlers here with possession. Santuletto on the far side, working down, deep pass, sailing out of bounds. Hitting Florida head coach Niklas Jonsson. Florida's hit in here. Ramirez now coming around the center. Pass to Kopetsky on the close wing. Ramirez go in the center. Janacek, far wing. Out to Williamson. Valtteri Rantala able to block him out. Number 79, Rantala driving down. Coming across, Kopetsky recovering after the ball goes wild. He'll get the angle on Rovinen. He'll send it out to Ramirez. Coming around the center, back to Kopetsky, down to Juha. Juha, cross court, looking for Williamson. A little miscommunication. And now, Valtteri Rantala trying to capitalize. Florida is there for support, able to come away with it. Pepa Juha driving in as his team makes substitutions. Coming around, back out, Matson. Sends it to Jalovi, over to Lindborg. Max Lindborg to Lukas Jalovi. Less than 3 minutes remaining in the first. Matson, the pass to Malmström. Over to Lindborg. Unable to get a shot off in time. Nearly tried by Ole Strum. The Pasi Arvinen. An impenetrable wall there so far. Ole Strum, the pass to Emil Matson. Jalovi coming around. Center lane. The pass down deep to Lindborg. Emil Matson in the center. He'll pass back out to Jalovi. Florida taking their time here, speeding up the pace of the passing. It's almost reminiscent of the Minnesota offense. Ball chipped away there by Yipao Roila. Malmström trying to get an angle on Kotelwolto. Send it in the center, stolen by Auroila. Heading out to the boards. Ole Strum with a lot of hustle, no quit whatsoever, able to take the ball and pass it down to Lukas Jalovi. Florida taking it slow. Alvin Hedstall coming out now, fielding the ball with a pass to Ramirez. 2 minutes remain in the first period. Still a tie ball game here. It's certainly been an exciting start to the second week of play here in the North American Floorball League. Auroila sending the ball center court. No contest there for Alvin Hedstall. Hedstall facing double team now in the far corner. He'll get a pass to Haugland. Auroila stick going flying. The ball in the far court. Auroila still racing to find his stick. Now he's recovered. Vanjonpa. The pass to Hilton and sailing high. Yipao Roila instead. Kevin Haugland starting to retreat a bit. Now he'll begin to press. Auroila driving down. Gets it to Bjernen. Less than a minute and a half remaining in the first here. Head to Vanjonpa. Down the line to Tuukka Hiltonen. Pass sailing wide. Williamson to Williamson. The ball chipped out of bounds. It's going to be a Florida Vikings hit. Second line returning here for the Minnesota Growlers. A minute 12 remaining in the first. Janacek working with Juha. Far side. Santuletto trying to get an angle. Chipped into the far corner. Down the line, the pass sailing far past Lindborg. Auroila now in defensive position in his own territory. Facing the double team. Lindborg able to get it out off the wall to Jalovi. He'll lose control of the ball. Rovinen unable to box him out. Hit awarded here to the Florida Vikings. High stick call. Pepa Juha ready to take it. Over to Lindborg. Less than a minute remaining in the first. Lukas Jalovi, far side. The shot attempt by Juha off the body of Kotelwolto. Another hit awarded here to the Florida Vikings. .44 seconds left on the clock. Malmström with the pass to Ramirez. The Swedish men's national team's player coming out in force. That pass blocked by Yipao Roila. Santoleto trying to get a pass to Cotoluoto, taken by Malmstrom. 30 seconds remaining in the first period. Matson, Ramirez, driving in close. The pass sailing wide. Matson able to recover. The pass down to Jalovic, chipped away by Leto. Alestrom able to get there first. Back to Matson. Florida with some continued pressure here. 15 seconds remaining in the first. What can they do with it? 10 seconds on the clock. Linus Malmstrom down to Jalovic, driving in. The shot attempt wide right off the backboards. Ramirez facing defense from Rovinen. Advantage play granted to Florida. As time expires, your score at the end of the first period, it's Florida Vikings 2, Minnesota Growlers 2. Floorball fans, what an intense matchup it has been so far. Certainly a great way to start our second week of play. That's why you're not going to want to miss the second period. We'll be back in less than 10 minutes with a continuation of the floorball action here live from Winter Haven, Florida. And of course, stay tuned during the intermission as we'll be bringing you an exclusive NAFL player interview. Well, floorball fans of the North American Floorball League, what a way to start off our second week of NAFL action. I'm joined here by familiar face Pepe Juha. Pepe, last year's MVP, all NAFL first team, and he's back with the Vikings. How are you feeling returning to the NAFL?
I love the atmosphere. I love the way how it's growing. I can see excited faces of people watching around. Just so good.
Now, one of the biggest strengths of your Florida team last season was you had a lot of diversity, which meant you had to work hard and you built a lot of chemistry. Now, obviously, coming in late to this team, how do you feel about the team culture and the chemistry and where it needs to go from here?
Great question. From my point of view, I think I just need to do the things I do normally. Try to be a leader, try to work with the team, and I think it's going to click just fine. And with the team, the way how I feel from guys speaking, I think they are having a great time, not only on the pitch, but even outside, and I think it's going to be even more visible now.
And speaking of the pitch, as you come into the second and third periods, what do you think is going to be the key here against the Growlers to get your offense up into the lead?
Let's keep doing the same thing. I think we can put the pressure on. I think they are playing on 10 people. We play on 15. I think that's going to be the key advantage. I think we just need to push more.
Understood. Pepe Juha, always a pleasure. Thank you for joining us again. Floorball fans, don't go anywhere. You're not going to want to miss the second period between the Florida Vikings and the Minnesota Growlers. Well, floorball fans, it's almost time to resume the floorball action here, live from Winter Haven, Florida, between the Vikings and the Growlers. Now, floorball fans, we'd like to remind you that without our sponsors, the NAFL wouldn't be possible. As you know, we sent our explorers to search the galaxy. They came back and told us there was only one stop for everything floorball. FloorballPlanet.com, your one stop for everything floorball. And of course, the NAFL has a new clothing partner for the 2023 season. It's Kempa. If you like what our referees are wearing, then you like Kempa, from head to toe, from shoe to shirt. And as we get ready for the face-off to resume the second period, you can trust that the game ball is the only official game ball of the NAFL. Excel, because like the NAFL, Excel chooses to rule. And of course, floorball fans, don't forget that the statistics for this game and every NAFL game, past, present, and future, is always available online at statbeat.com/NAFL. Between matches, goals, assists, points, ranking, and more, you can find it online at statbeat.com/NAFL. Now, floorball fans, coming in here, we have had a tight matched game so far. Florida doing a great job with time of possession and keeping the pressure on. But Minnesota has been able to work their way through on counterattacks to keep themselves tying Florida time and time again. Of course, Florida facing an influx of new talent this season, coming in halfway through between Ramirez, Hoagland, between Yuha, Albin Headstall. But Minnesota responding well so far. We'll see how they can do after they were awarded the face-off. Emily Bjernanen over to Vanjonpa, down the line. Ilmari Lettinen in the center, stolen there by Emil Madsen. Over to Ollie Strum, Malmstrom. The shot attempt goes off the body of Auruela, sent to the close boards. Out to Ramirez. Malmstrom over to Madsen. Back down to Madsen, far side. Ramirez now in his own backcourt. Behind the back pass, no looker to Emil Madsen. Sending it into the center. Malmstrom over to Ramirez. Back to Malmstrom. Shot goes off the body of Auruela again. Captain Yipa Auruela. Certainly one of the better players in the league at getting himself between the ball and the net, doing some great field player defense. It's what's kept the Minnesota Growlers competitive so far in this game during the first period. Santorletto set to take the hit here for the Minnesota Growlers. Pass down the line, bounces, sailing out of bounds. It's going to be another Growlers hit in. Valtteri Rantala. Working with Kotelwolto, Jalovi there with pressure. The pass attempt to Headstall, unable to make it. A save by Peter Schlad off a shot attempt there. Hoagland driving down, looking for Williamson. Working hard here, double team defense. The pass gets out to Jalovi, over to Lindborg. The Growlers now in full defensive position here. Manning the battle station as Headstall gets the pass to Hoagland. Hoagland over to Jalovi. Close swing to Headstall. Working around, double team defense, driving in close to the crease. Unable to get a shot attempt off. It's a delayed penalty here against the Minnesota Growlers. Jalovi back out to Lindborg. Nicholas Ramirez coming on now as a sixth field player, while Florida maintains the possession before this penalty. And it's a star-studded offense here for the Florida Vikings. They've got Hoagland, Headstall, Juha, Kopetsky, Ramirez, and Malmstrom. Sending it down to Linus Malmstrom. Ramirez to Kopetsky, working far side with Headstall. Kopetsky missing the ball, still maintaining possessions. Certainly no press yet from the Minnesota Growlers, not eager to be a field player down. Malmstrom in the center, pass deflected by Valtteri Rantala. And it's going to be a penalty call against the Minnesota Growlers. That's certainly crucial in a tight game such as this one. 17 minutes, 41 seconds left in the second. The Florida Vikings going to enter power play against the Growlers. Currently tied 2-2. That penalty on number 53, Santorletto. And the Growlers currently taking some time here before power play begins while the referee is still discussing with the Secretariat. Number 77, goalkeeper Pasi Arvinen, grabbing water as he prepares for what's certain to be a lot of offensive pressure from the star-studded Florida Vikings offense here in power play. Currently, the referee is looking to deal with some difficulties with the goal sliding, it appears, trying to keep it stationary here. With that repair, the game set to resume. It's going to be Malmstrom and Hogland on the close corner, set to take it in here. Two Swedish national men's team players, both world champions of floorball. We'll see what they're able to do here over the next 2 minutes. Nicholas Ramirez over to Malmstrom. Back to Ramirez. Heavy pressure there from Auruela, forcing him closer to the wing. The goal left a tad too open there. No pressure yet from Florida. Their bench banging the boards with their sticks in anticipation of the shot attempt. Always through him, missing that pass. It's Zales to Pasi Arvinen. The ball sent all the way down deep into the corner. Ilmari Lehtinen facing triple team defense now. Kopetsky able to get the steal and the pass out to Ramirez. The boards having to be repaired far side, but when they do, it's going to be a Minnesota free hit. It's going to come off of a push call. It'll be number 79, Valtteri Rantala, set to take the hit here for the Growlers. A field player down. Still trying to mount some offensive pressure here against Florida. He's got Kopetsky and Ramirez on him tight. The board's going down again. It's going to be a face-off in the far corner as another board comes tumbling down like the London Wall. Rantala on Ramirez on the face-off, going to the corner. Kopetsky able to get there. Minnesota still maintaining some pressure. Valtteri Rantala on a press, but now it's going to be Kopetsky on the breakaway. Fast action offense here. Malmstrom taking time to set up. Ramirez, center court. Malmstrom with the ball. The Florida bench once again getting excited. Still building up anticipation after Ramirez having to go and fetch the pass from his own backcourt. Ramirez does through him. Over to Kopetsky. To Malmstrom. Trying to find it in the center, chipped away by Rovinen, back to Ramirez. Down to Malmstrom. Chipped in. Kevin Hogland trying to get a shot off. Goes off the body of Auruela. Vanjonpa sending it back down. Ramirez to Malmstrom, looking for Roles through him, but it sails again into the far back corner off of a bounce. And the ball saved there by Pasi Arvinen. Ramirez over to Strum. Malmstrom shot saved by Pasi Arvinen. And the Minnesota Growlers staying alive by inches. Ramirez just threw him to Kopetsky. Over to Malmstrom. Crossed all Strum. In the last remaining seconds of power play. Ole threw him with another goal. Florida nearly unable to convert during power play off of sustained pressure from the Growlers. Finally able to convert with 15 minutes, 46 seconds remaining in the second period. No longer a tie game. Your score, Vikings 3, Growlers 2. Heading back down for the face-off, it'll be number 96, Emily Bjerninen. On number 26, Albin Hedstall. As power play officially over with that goal. And after an early jump there by Albin Hedstall, it's going to be a free hit here for the Growlers. Bjerninen coming around again. Take two. Odauriola. The pass chipped there off the stick of Haugland. Haugland trying to get to it. Bjerninen trying to do something with it. Hedstall. The pass to Jalavi. The shot attempt just saved by the Growlers. Odauriola trying to send a pass down off the boards, but it bounces out. It's going to be a Florida Vikings hit in. Lucas Jalavi set to take it. The pass to Lindborg. Down off the wall. Hedstall to Jalavi. Over to Lindborg again. Looking to the center to Haugland. The steal by Odauriola. Losing his stick. Haugland trying to capitalize, but it goes off the feet there of Eetu Vanjonpa. Auriola to Lehtinen. Ilmari Lehtinen driving down. He's got Jalavi on him tight. And Jalavi now coming down. Looking to make a counterattack here for the Florida Vikings. Lindborg shot saved off the helmet of Pasi Järvinen. It's going to be a Minnesota Growlers hit in. 15:04 remaining on the clock here. Santuleto with the pass to Kuzmarski. Santuleto taking it slow here. Minnesota looking to set up their passing offense. That's going to be their key to success here. Kyle Kuzmarski down the line. Pass goes off the body there of Wojtek Janacek. The chip pass to Janacek, bouncing just a tad too far. Now he's behind the goal line, losing control of the ball. Kyle Kuzmarski able to get there and chip the ball out to center court, but Nicholas Ramirez is there waiting. Ramirez off the far wall to Pepayuha. Into Kopetsky, driving close. The save by Pasi Järvinen on two shot attempts. Pepayuha with the save again. Pasi Järvinen keeping the Growlers alive here. Pepayuha being relentless. Last year's league MVP. The Minnesota Growlers getting a free hit there. We spoke with number 10, Pepayuha, during the intermission. Obviously, we spoke about how the strength of his team last season was their team chemistry, and with a lot of players coming in midway through the season, how that's affected the team. But he said that from everything he's experienced, he just needs to keep doing what he does best, and that from everything he can tell, the team has been having a great time both on and off the pitch, and that's been the key to their success so far. Odauriola working with Bjerninen, far wing, Bjerninen. Around Matson, driving down. The shot attempt saved by Peter Slad. Over to Jalavi. Jalavi coming down. Malmström to the side. Saved by Pasi Järvinen off the Jalavi shot attempt. Järvinen to Auriola. Auriola down the line. Looking for Ilmari Lehtinen. Jalavi able to intercept it, though. Over to Malmström. Matson in the center. He's got Kotelwoto Libido. Pass it over to Lindborg. Lindborg shot attempt. It's good. Number 88, Max Lindborg, extending the Florida Vikings lead here live from Winter Haven, Florida, in their own home territory. 13 minutes, 21 seconds still remaining in the second period. Your score now, Florida 4, Minnesota 2. Heading back down now. It'll once again be Albin Hedstall on the faceoff for the Vikings. He'll be up against number 79, Valtteri Rantala. Minnesota going to need to make some moves quick and make some adjustments quick if they want to keep this game from getting away from them. But obviously, floorball is a fast-paced, high-energy sport where absolutely anything can happen. We've seen game-winning goals in the last 15 seconds this season. We've seen overcoming 4 or 5 goal deficits. Certainly anything possible here for the Growlers still. It'll be a hidden here for Minnesota. Santuleto set to take it off the wall to Kotelwoto. Sent around Albin Hedstall. Now driving down center lane. Spin around. Going far side. Kevin Haugland having to run to receive that pass. He'll send it out to Nicholas Ramirez. Ramirez behind the back pass to Haugland. Cross court. Santuleto able to get there before Albin Hedstall. Williamson trying to chip it to Haugland. Rovinen able to get it to Kotelwoto. The juke around Ramirez into the back corner. Ramirez with the box out. Driving now on the fast break. Coming down. The pass to Williamson. The shot is good. Number 21, Luke Williamson, only further extending the Florida Vikings lead here. Florida certainly heating up their offense. That fast break offensive one of their key strategies to success. With 12 minutes, 36 seconds still remaining in the second period, the Vikings gaining some traction. Your score now, Vikings 5 versus the Minnesota Growlers 2. Tapayuha heading down to take the face-off here for the Vikings. He'll be up against number 53, Santuleto. And recovery by Florida. Jalavi over to Lindborg. Sending the ball down, Jalavi. Kicking the ball away, Ilmari Lehtinen. Sending the ball out of bounds. It's going to be a hit in here for the Minnesota Growlers. Lehtinen to Vanjonpa. Over to Yipao Roila. Off the wall. Emily Bjerninen, far side. Yipao Roila back to Bjerninen. Minnesota looking to start some pressure. Over to Lehtinen. It's good. Ilmari Lehtinen, one of the league's top scorers, continuing his dominant performance this season, putting Minnesota on the board here in the second period. It's a matchup once again, 11 minutes, 58 seconds still remaining in the second period. Your score now, Vikings 5, Growlers 3. Matson here on Rantala. Recovery by Florida. Peter Schlad kicking it to Liam Williamson. Behind the goal line, he'll find Ramirez. Coming in center lane. Malmstrom coming to assist. The pass to Malmstrom. Close wing. Ramirez over to Matson. Facing some press there from Rovinen. Still past midcourt. He'll send it back to Malmstrom in Florida's own backcourt. Rantala starting to press here for the Growlers. The pass to Ramirez. Liam Williamson, close wing, the spin around, the shot saved by Pasi Arvinen. You go Rovinen with the steal there by Malmstrom. The shot attempt sailing wide left, ball chipped out of bounds. It's going to be a Minnesota Growlers hit in. Captain Yipao Roila, number 64, set to take it. Pass to Bjerninen. Ollie Strum starting the press. He'll have to send it back out to Auroila. Strum not letting up yet. Vanjonpa back to Auroila. Florida trying to artificially increase the pace of this offense here with Strum's defense. Vanjonpa cross court over to Bjerninen off the far wall. Auroila taking the ball deep. It'll lose control. Ollie Strum now for the Vikings. Nicholas Ramirez over to Williamson. Lucas Jalavi now with the ball as Florida makes substitutions. Max Lindborg. We go with a pass over to Hedstall. Back to Lindborg. Florida slowing down a bit now. Lehtinen on the press here for the Growlers. Albin Hedstall, far side. The pass to Haugland behind the goal line. Coming around over to Lindborg. Haugland missing that pass. Kuzmarski there on the press. Trying to kick it out. And the ball chipped out of bounds there. It's going to be a Florida Vikings hit in. Luke Williamson looking to take it fast. He'll lose control of the ball there. Taken by number 2, Etu Vanjonpa. Now it's a battle for possession on the close wing. Chipped up in the air by Albin Hedstall. It's going to be a Florida Vikings hit in. And to the center, Kevin Haugland taking it quick off the hit. Florida re-extending their lead. Just under 10 minutes remaining. 9 minutes, 55 seconds on the clock in the second. Your score now, Florida Vikings 6, Minnesota Growlers 3. And with that, it's Kevin Haugland, the two-time world champions, first goal here in the North American Floorball League. He's certainly been a great defender and now showing his offensive prowess. Rantala forcing the ball into Florida territory there. Off the face-off, still able to maintain some possession. Shot attempt wide left, goes behind the goal. Recovery there by Williamson. The pass to Wojtek Janacek. Rantala still not letting off the press, going behind Florida's goal line. Facing Williamson in the corner. Driving down. He's got support there from Rovinen. The boards coming flying off there. It's going to be a Minnesota Growlers free hit. Valtteri Rantala here against Rene Koutuluoto. And Rantala with a second of hesitation there, fielding that pass, allowing Florida the opportunity they needed for the steal. Now it's Nicholas Ramirez on the far side. Cross-court pass, close wing to Liam Williamson. Ramirez backing off. He'll go with a pass to Kubetsky. Far wing. The spin to get the angle on Rovinen. He'll kick it back out to Ramirez. Coming around, center lane. He'll keep the ball. No pass to Williamson yet. Instead, we go to Juha. Juha. Pass going off the foot there of Ramirez. Koutuluoto nearly taking it, but Ramirez still able to recover. Maintaining possession despite double-team defense. The hit's going to be awarded to Minnesota, though, off of an incorrect hit. Yipao Roila, stick going flying. Yipao Roila, Temeli Biernen. Ball chipped up in the air. Auroila coming down now, close wing, taking time in his own backcourt. Santoletto cycling to the center for support. Instead will send it down deep to Ilomari Lehtinen. Classic offensive strategy here from the Growlers. We'll see if it'll work. Santoletto trying to get the ball off, but Papayua boxing him out of the box. On the far side, Papayua now with possession, sending it around to Yalovi. Chip down to Kopetsky. Kosmarski able to come away with it behind his own goal. Looking for an out route. The steal by Wojtek Janacek. Lindborg, Yalovi to Juha. Lehtinen creating a chance there for Bjernanen. Driving down, coming around. Goes on the outside of the goal. He still has possession after it bounces off. Auroila shot sailing wide right. It's going to be a penalty call. And that penalty going to be number 10, Pepa Juha, team captain last season. The former MVP heading out with 8 minutes, 7 seconds still remaining in the second period. The Minnesota Growlers now going to enter power play. This may be just the opportunity they need to regain some traction here, regain some momentum against a Florida Vikings team that has steadily increased their lead here this period after coming in at a tie ball game 2-2 in the second. It'll be Minnesota's ball to begin here. Bjernanen down to Auroila. Sends it to Koutuluoto. Minnesota taking it slow. They're a pass-heavy offense. Generally waiting on the perimeter. Keeping it light until they see an open opportunity after the defense presses too much. We'll see if this experienced Florida defense will make that mistake. Auroila going to the ground now. Seems like he has an injury. Bjernanen getting forced into his own territory there by Kevin Hogland. Ilomari Lehtinen, close wing. Looking for a man to pass to. He'll send it down. Rantala losing control. Yalovi able to get it to Hogland. Chipped out of bounds there by Yipao Roila. It's going to be a Florida Vikings hit-in. Lukas Yalovi set to take it. Sends it down. Malmstrom, far side. Driving down. Nearly getting a goal off there. Ball out of bounds. It's going to be a Florida Vikings hit-in. Despite being a field player down, they're mounting an impressive offensive so far. Matson there facing double-team defense. Chipped away by Auroila. It's going to be a Minnesota Growlers hit there. And now it's Bjernanen inbounding with a pass to Koutuluoto. Koutuluoto cross wing. Working with Bjernanen still. Sending it down to Lehtinen now. Just about a minute has elapsed so far in power play. Florida staying alive well so far. The shot attempt goes off the body of Malmstrom, sailing out of bounds. 6 minutes, 55 seconds still to go It's Minnesota's hit in. Bjernanen to Lehtinen. Over to Auroila. Auroila trying to send a pass to Bjernanen, and it goes wild. Emil Mattsson recovering here for Florida. To spin to try and get around Bjernanen. He'll be forced to the far wing. Over to Jalovi. Jalovi coming in close. Just saved. It goes off the right post. Pasi Arvinen able to get there before the Florida Vikings able to create another shot opportunity. Just about 30 seconds remaining before Pepa Juha subbing back in for the Vikings. Kotelwolto now with the ball. The pass down to Lamari Lehtinen. Rene Kotelwolto, the shot attempt off the body of his own man, Jipau Roila, chipping it out to the far wing over to Emily Bjernanen. The spin around Mattsson. Looking for a sweep shot opportunity. Instead, he'll pass it to Lehtinen. Through the legs of Mattsson. Auroila missing the ball there. Power play is over. Lehtinen, shot attempt powerful, but sailing wide right. Another penalty call. What a turn of events. Looks like number 17, Emil Mattsson, is going to be called out here on a penalty for a push. And that means the Minnesota Growlers about to enter a second 2 minutes of power play here in the second period. 6 minutes left on the clock. We'll see if this is the opportunity they need. Unable to convert on their first power play series. We'll see if they can make it happen on the second, put themselves back on the board and make this game even tighter. Rantala, the pass to Hiltunen. Tuukka Hiltunen working with Bjernanen. Haugland starting to play up in the press, so is Ramirez. Back to Lamari Lehtinen. Starting to drive in a bit closer. The pass to Rantala. Over to Hilton, and it goes off his foot and out of bounds. It's going to be a Florida hit in. Ramirez to Headstall. Back to Ramirez, close wing. Facing double team defense, still able to spin around. Incredible ball handling, driving down deep. Coming around the back, behind the goal line in Minnesota territory. Jipau Roila standing there, Pasi Arvinen appearing to be injured. The team captain standing by his man. Pasi Arvinen slowly getting to his feet here. Applause from the Minnesota bench as he makes it back up. Järvinen, a new player this season. He has a reputation for being tough, for fighting hard battles with other teams. He's known to be physical, and he certainly knows how to take a hit well. Jipau Roila sending the ball down deep on a gentleman's hit. Peter Slad now with the pass to Lindborg. The games are back on. Albin Headstall, far wing, driving down, cross court to Ramirez. The shot attempt by Kevin Haugland, saved by Pasi Arvinen. An incredible save there from about a 3-foot range. No hesitation there from Järvinen, no fear. Haugland nearly forcing a loss of possession. It's going to be a hit awarded here to the Minnesota Growlers. Less than a minute remaining in power play here. Lehtinen to Auroila. Off the wall, back to Lehtinen. Coming around, trying to get it to Rantala in the box. The ball sailing up off the post. Auroila, the pass to Rantala. Over to Hiltunen. Shot saved by Peter Slad. Peter Slad, all NAFL first team goalkeeper last season. An incredible player, a lot of saves. He's done a great job this season as well. Ramirez trying to get a shot off, but it bounces up a little too high, chipped far left. Florida still mounting an offensive drive here. The ball chipped out of bounds there by Jipau Roila. 23 seconds remaining in power play. In Florida, the one who's putting the pressure here on the Growlers despite being a field player down. Malmstrom. Pass sailing wide there. Looking to try and fix his blade as the Minnesota Growlers take possession. Bjernanen, far wing, over to Leto. Down to Bjernanen. Coming around, trying to get a cross-court pass off to Ilamarilet, and Ramirez able to break it up. Malmstrom driving down now, coming close. The pass to Juha. And number 96, Emily Bjerninen, on some incredible defense. Sliding, taking out 2 boards just to stop that Peppa Juha shot attempt. As power play officially over, it's still going to be Minnesota's ball. And a battle for possession in the center. It's going to result in a free hit for the Minnesota Growlers. Rantala set to take it here with Kotorluoto. Off the body there of Ole Strum, trying to chip it around Vanjonpa. It'll come back to the close wall. Valtteri Rantala driving now, coming down deep. He's got a shot. Saved by Peter Slad. Once again, Emil Madsen trying to get a pass off. He'll lose some control. He'll still have Lindborg for support. Back to Madsen. Over to Jalevi. Down to Malmstrom. Jalevi over to Madsen. Madsen coming in. The pass out to Lindborg. Back to Jalevi. Down to Malmstrom. Driving in close there to the box. Cross-court pass. Deflected. Emil Madsen still able to recover. Lukas Jalevi back to Madsen. Florida sustaining some pressure there. The ball chipped away by Valtteri Rantala. Still no press here from Minnesota. Down to Malmstrom. Close wing. Cross-court pass blocked there by Kuzmarski. Now let's go to Luoto driving down. Able to get the angle on Lindborg, but not on Ole Strum. Strum sending the ball to Liam Williamson as his team makes substitutions. Liam Williamson, close side, fielding that pass from Ramirez. Just over 2.5 minutes remain here in the second period. Florida still with a 3-goal lead. Already holding substantial momentum as they get ready to go into intermission and back out to the third period. Nicolas Ramirez coming in close now. Staying around center court. Behind the back pass to Haugland. Haugland driving in tight. Over to Williamson. Shot wide. Coming now. Close corner. Chipped away. Ilamari Lehtinen facing some contact there from Williamson. Recovered by Ramirez. The ball chipped out of bounds. It'll be a Florida hit in. Ramirez. Cross court. Headstall to Williamson. And the pass over to Ramirez. Sailing out of bounds. It's going to be a Minnesota Growlers hit in. Santuleto getting ready to take it. It'll go to Yipao Ruela. Less than 10 seconds remaining. 2 minutes remaining in the second period. Over to Vanjonpa. Here to Vanjonpa. Cross-court pass around the stick of Kopetsky. Ruela. Shot attempt goes off the helmet of Peter Schlad. Now it's on the far wing. Jakub Kopetsky coming around. The pass to Wojtek Janacek. Close side into Peppa Juha inside the crease. But the pass sailing up, and away. Juha still with possession. Trying to get it around to Wojtek Janacek. Get to Vanjonpa. On him tight on the defense. Juha going off the boards. Over to Max Lindborg. Peppa Juha close side. Head to Vanjonpa. Recovering a pass that didn't have enough power on it from Peppa Juha. Ruela now in the far corner. Facing off against Kopetsky. And Wojtek Janacek. Shot goes off the body of Santuleto. Ball sailing out of bounds, and it's going to be a Minnesota Growlers hit in with 1:04 remaining in the second period. Minnesota desperately in need of some offensive action here as they get ready to end the second. They've given up 4 goals to Florida, 3 of them unanswered in the second period. It's certainly been a Vikings period so far. Minnesota going to look to change that in the last remaining seconds and certainly have an important locker room discussion heading into the third to put their mindset back into the game. The shot attempt by Malmstrom sailing wide out of bounds. It's going to be another Growlers hit in. Vanjonpa to Ruela. Ruela to Vanjonpa. Ole Strum pressing up off the backboards there to Yipao Ruela. 30 seconds remain. Ruela to Vanjonpa. Back over to Ruela. Ole Strum still starting the press. Not a lot of movement here from Minnesota. Not looking to give up a vital mistake. The last 10 seconds, what can they do with it? Rantala shot sailing wide right. going to be a Minnesota Growlers free hit here. Vanjonpa in the last 5 seconds. Shot attempt off the body of Mattsson. Over to Strum. The ball chipped high out of bounds. 1 second left on the clock. The two of them colliding. And the referee's going to call that the period at the end of the second. Your score, Florida Vikings 6 versus the Minnesota Growlers 3. Floorball fans, what an offensive-minded period it's been. It's been fun to watch, fun to see, the fast break offensive. That's why you're not going to want to miss the third period of NAFL action here between the Florida Vikings and the Minnesota Growlers. And, of course, stay tuned here during the intermission as we'll have another exclusive player interview. Well, floorball fans of the North American Floorball League, it is now at the end of the second period here between the Florida Vikings and the Minnesota Growlers. I'm joined here by Emil Mattsson. Emil, how are you feeling after the end of the second?
I'm feeling good, better and better along the match goes. So, yeah.
Now, obviously, Florida having a lot of change-ups in the lineup here with the addition of new talent. How are you feeling as an existing player of the Vikings about how they've been integrated so far into the team chemistry?
Only positive feels about that. They're great guys outside the pitch and on the pitch. So.
And what do you think is going to be the key here, Emil, on continuing your offensive success in the third period?
Just keep going. Shoot more, I think.
All right. Shoot more. We'll see if it happens. Emil Mattsson, thank you so much for joining us. Floorball fans, don't go anywhere. We'll be back in less than 10 minutes with the exciting conclusion between the Florida Vikings and the Minnesota Growlers. Well, floorball fans, it's almost time to head back down for what's set to be an exciting third period here between the Florida Vikings and the Minnesota Growlers. But before we do, we'd like to remind you that without our sponsors, the NAFL wouldn't be possible as a league. Now, as you know, we have a new official clothing partner for the 2023 season. It's Kempa. If you like what our referees are wearing, then you like Kempa from head to toe, from shoe to shirt. And as we get set to head down for the face-off, you can trust that our game ball is the only official game ball of the NAFL. Excel, because like the NAFL, Excel chooses to rule. As we head down, it's going to be recovery by Florida on the face-off. Another reminder, floorball fans, if you're curious about any stat from this game or any NAFL game, past or present, don't worry, you can find it online at statbeat.com/NAFL. Between matches, goals, assists, points, and rankings, you can find all that and more online at statbeat.com/NAFL. It's going to be a Minnesota Growlers hit here, giving up 4 goals in the second period, 3 unanswered. They're going to have their work cut out for them here in the third period to try and put themselves back in the game. Of course, floorball is a fast-paced, high-energy sport where anything can happen. We could certainly see a run here this season in the NAFL. We've already had plenty of exciting action coming down to the final minutes of games. We'll see if that's possible here. The save by Pasi Järvinen of the Mattsson shot attempt. We spoke to Emil Mattsson, a player who's already been putting out a lot of work here for the Vikings so far this season, being a big part of their 4-1 record so far in the NAFL. We asked him about the addition of new talent, including Nicholas Ramirez, including Kevin Haugland, Albin Hedstall, Pepe Juha. He said his experience bringing them into the fold has been nothing but positive. They're incredible players. They've helped the level of play on the Vikings team. And he said with them, the key in the third period is to continue doing what they're doing and shoot more. Minnesota hit Rantala with a shot attempt blocked by Hedstall. Now it's Alroila heading back down into the far corner. Haugland with the steal. The pass to Albin Hedstall. Around to Haugland. It sails off the back of the goal. Haugland still able to get control. Holomoski just missing a shot attempt there from inside the box. Hedstall going to the ground. It's going to be an elbow call here. It's going to be a Florida Vikings free hit. The pass over to Lukas Jalovi. Max Lindborg driving in the center lane now. Taking his time. Working with Hedstall. Close wing. Cross-court pass to Holomoski. Jalovi shot wide left. Looked like it went off the foot there of Haugland. The attempt for a Michigan goal, no good. Pasi Järvinen too quick on the draw. Florida still maintaining possession here. Albin Hedstall over to Jalovi. A lot of momentum already this period from the Vikings. That's only adding to the run that they already had in the second period. That pass going off the foot there of Kotalwolto. Heading to the far boards. Rantala unable to get a stick there. Jalovi being forced away there by Vanjonpa. He'll have Lindborg to recover. Far side, over to Hedstall. The shot is good. Slow and steady wins the race. Number 26, Albin Hedstall, with the goal sailing elegantly there. Pasi Järvinen expecting the quick slap shot. He wouldn't find it. That's his first goal with the Florida Vikings. Another goal by the new addition, showing what kind of high output they're going to be able to support this season. 17 minutes, 50 seconds still to go in the third period. Your score now, Florida 7 versus the Minnesota Growlers 3. Minnesota needing to restart their defense here and work it out to midcourt. They've been playing a lot here where they're not pressing when the ball sails past the midcourt line, not pursuing it into Florida territory, instead staying close in towards the goalkeeper's area. But that hasn't worked just yet. Ilmari Lehtinen trying to get it around. He'll find Bjerninen. Down to Lehtinen. Lehtinen facing double team defense. Ramirez chipping it up and away. It's going to be a Minnesota ball there for a high stick violation. Bjerninen to Lehtinen. Bjerninen coming around. He's got Vanjonpa. Bjerninen facing a press there from Pepe Juha. He'll have to get it to Alroila behind the goal line. He'll chip it up and over the goal. Ilmari Lehtinen unable to get a shot attempt off. An impressive attempt. Juha to Kopecky. Saved by Pasi Järvinen. Kopecky's second attempt sailing out of bounds. It'll be a Minnesota Growlers hit in. Kuzmarski set to take it here for Jipa Auroila. Pass in the middle lane, Rantala trying to get it off to Auroila. It's on the backboards. They'll get it past Thrum. Fast pass work there, stolen by Thrum. Lindborg on the recovery, facing full court press so far from Minnesota's defense. Now Rantala starting to retreat to the far wing. Minnesota normalizing to a zone 2-on-2 defense. Now Rantala with an opportunity for a fast break. He'll miss the ball for a pass, but he'll sail into the far corner. He's still got an opportunity there against Jalovi. Jalovi chipping the ball away. Can he make it out? Facing double team defense, Lindborg able to kick it out to Jalovi, but it's going to be a free hit awarded to the Growlers. Incorrect hit there. We heard a stick collision from behind the goal. It's going to go to the far corner. 16:34 still remaining in the third period. Minnesota currently scoreless so far this period. Hugo Rovinen set to take it with Valtteri Rantala. Driving in, Valtteri Rantala. His shot attempt sailing wide out of bounds. It'll be a Florida Vikings hit in. The Vikings trying to take it fast here, while Minnesota's making substitutions, unable to make substantial movement before Minnesota set up there. Albin Hedstall off the wall. Ramirez having to go back behind the goal line to field it. Ilmari Lehtinen not going to follow him there. Deep pass, Ramirez down to the far corner, over to Haugland. Haugland able to chip it down. Alexander Larson now. The spin around in center court. Hit in the air by Hedstall. Ramirez to recover. Ramirez driving down, far wing, gets the angle on Lehtinen. Cross court to Hedstall, saved off the foot there of Pasi Arvinen. Another attempt by Holomoski, saved by Arvinen. And a collision there, Adam Holomoski going to the ground. Seems like both teams were getting intense there towards the box. Minnesota getting ready to take a hit here. It's going to be their possession. Järvinen taking his time returning to the court. Looked like he took a hit as well there, as it was a series of shots in rapid succession. Could have very easily taken a hit from a blade there. Auroila to resume play here for Minnesota. In the center, looking for Vanjonpa, stolen by Hedstall. The shot attempt saved by Pasi Järvinen. And Auroila forced behind his own goal there. Haugland with a quick press, but play's going to be stopped. It'll once again be Minnesota's ball. It'll come to the close corner. It'll be a face-off now. Pasi Järvinen looks like he's holding his torso. May still be feeling some of the effects of that hit there. Certainly a tough player, working hard through it. Björninen driving down now for the Growlers. He'll get the angle on Holomoski. Far wing, the pass to Vanjonpa. Stolen nearly by Haugland. Auroila still with possession. And now Holomoski on the steal. The pass to Albin Hedstall. Driving down center lane off the stick of Leto. Hedstall still with possession. The Florida Vikings doing a phenomenal job so far this game of maintaining possession after contact. Even in double team defense, they have a lot of great ball handlers on the team, a lot of great stick handlers on the team, able to come away and make it out of seemingly impossible situations. It's certainly been an asset on the court so far. Wojtek Janacek, shot blocked by Pasi Järvinen. Off the wall to Jalovi, down the line to Lindborg. Lindborg back to Jalovi. Now Lindborg, close side, he'll go to Papajuha. The shot attempt saved again by Pasi Järvinen. Florida still, of course, with a 4-goal lead, but it would certainly be a lot larger without Pasi Järvinen. He's had still a very good performance today. Lukas Jalovi at his own goal line. We'll go down to Janacek. Janacek with some breathing room. The shot over to Juha, nearly chipped in, but it sails high and out of bounds off his stick. Papajuha seemingly displeased with himself there. The ball going out of bounds. It'll be a Minnesota hit in. Kuzmarski there with Auroila. Auroila taking his time. Rantala coming down for support as Alex Thrum begins a press. And the deep pass down to Rovinen. converted, but a shot attempt sailing wide left there past Peter Slad. Larsson to Ramirez. Larsson down the line to Emil Mattsson, coming in close. The ball chipped up off the stick of Hugo Rovin and going to the far corner, sailing out of bounds. It's going to be a Minnesota Growlers hit in. Yipao Roila once again with Kyle Kuzmarski. The ball sent cross court. Bjernanen not anticipating it. Mattsson able to recover the pass to Ramirez. Into Olistrom. Saved again by Pasi Arvinen. Malmstrom getting it back down to Mattsson. Larsson trying to get there first. Bjernanen putting some pressure on him. Coming down, close wing. Larsson driving. We go with a pass to Olistrom. Unable to get the timing right for a shot attempt. Emil Mattsson still sustaining this drive for Florida. It'll go down to Peter Slad. Florida going to have another chance here on the offense against the Growlers as they bring a new line out. Albin Hedstall coming around center lane. Pausing his progress around three-quarter court. Cross-court pass. Lukas Jalovi over to Haglund. Misses the ball for the shot attempt. Emily Bjernanen now recovering for the Growlers. Driving down. The ball chipped away into the corner by Hedstall. Double-team defense there for the Growlers. Ball sent out of bounds. It's going to be a Minnesota hit-in. Sent down the line. Delamari Lehtinen. Heavy press there from Haglund. Some physical defense there. Advantage granted as a result. Rene Kotelwoto. Off the boards to Yipao Roila. Again, Haglund playing aggressive physical press defense as the up man in the 1-2-2 zone for Florida. Holomoski chipping the ball away there from Kotelwoto. Haglund getting it to Hedstall. Hedstall driving down now. Won't be able to get an angle on Bjernanen. He'll have to find a man to pass to. Going around behind the goal, trying to get it in the box, saved by Pasi Arvinen as there was a mad grab for possession there in the goalkeeper's area. Eetu Vanjonpa over to Kuzmarski. Deep pass sent down, recovered by Max Lindborg of Florida. Now Alexander Larsson taking it in the center to Albin Hedstall. Over to Lindborg. In the center, looking for Haglund. Block there. Great defense by Kotelwoto and Kuzmarski. Albin Hedstall to Larsson, close wing. Florida slowing down their pace a bit here. Looking to control more and more variables of this game, forcing Minnesota to react and not to act. Over to Pepa Juha, far side, coming in, the shot attempt wide right off the boards. Larsson able to get it back out to Juha, facing heavy defense from Eetu Vanjonpa. Juha now. With some open waters, he'll send it down to Ramirez. Back to Juha. Over to Ramirez. Coming in closer and closer. Back to Juha. Working that far lane passing here for Florida. Now it's down to Alexander Larsson. He'll send it to Haglund. Cross court. Ramirez having to take a second to field the ball. Not enough press to make it count for Minnesota. Haglund back to Ramirez. The two working as a passing duo no matter how far away they are on the court. The attempt again for a Michigan goal by Haglund, rejected by Pasi Arvinen. Vanjonpa chipping the ball out and away. Ramirez able to get it out to Larsson. What a job maintaining time of possession here by the Florida Vikings. Holomoski's shot sailing high out of bounds. It'll be a Minnesota Growlers hit in. Minnesota captain Yipao Roila getting ready to take it. Leto coming in close for support. They've got Vanjonpa on the far wing. Kopetsky the press man so far for the Florida defense. Roila sending a pass up and over. Kopetsky had the height. It didn't have the angle. After it goes out of bounds, Pepa Juha ready to inbound for Florida. Juha driving in midcourt. The pass to Wojtek Janacek. Able to keep possession and pass out to Lindborg despite Santuleto's defense. Wojtek Janacek driving down. Peter Slad stretching in his own goalkeeper's crease. Certainly not anticipating a Minnesota offensive anytime soon. If the first 10 minutes of this period have been any indication, but now Lehtinen trying to change that, but his pass blocked by Lindborg. Down to Janacek. Coming down the middle lane, his shot goes off the body of Eetu Vanjonpa. It'll sail out of bounds. It'll be a Florida Vikings hit in. New line coming out to take it. 9 minutes, 57 seconds remaining. And the shot attempt there by Larson going off the body of Kotaluoto. It'll be another hit in for Florida. Strum working with Malmstrom. Play stopped. Matson sending the ball in. But the hit in not taken from the right position. It's going to be called back. Take two for real this time. Linus Malmstrom. Shot attempt goes off the body of Rene Kotaluoto. Free hit awarded here to the Growlers. Yipao Roila set to take it again. Down the line, over to Kotaluoto. Deep pass stolen by Emil Matson. Matson able to chip it. Center lane, Larson down to Ramirez, far side. Trying to find Malmstrom. Sailing wide, or to go straight to Pasi Arvinen, who passes it to Yipao Roila. Chipped up over the goal. It's a dangerous move with so many Vikings defenders. Malmstrom going to the ground. Auroila nearly stopping play there, expecting a call, but he won't find one. Rovinen, Tarantula, working with Kotaluoto. Off the wall, around Ole Strum to Auroila. Back to Rantala. Valtteri Rantala being forced down the line by Emil Matson. He'll send boards flying there. It'll be a Minnesota Growlers free hit after the board's repaired. Referee Vince Faso calling the players back over. It's going to be number 96, Emily Bjerninen, set to take the hit here for the Growlers. Go off the wall, working with Lehtinen. Back to Bjerninen, over to Lehtinen again. Minnesota needing to get their passing offense cooking soon here. Less than 10 minutes remaining in the third period, of course. But now it's going to be another Florida offensive. Albin Hedstall. Cross-court pass, trying to find Holomoski. He'll have to sail off the boards before he can get to it. Kevin Hogland trying to pass it down to Lucas Jalovi. Once again, unintentionally there, off the foot of the referee. It's going to be a face-off in the far corner. Eetu Vanjonpa with a gentleman's face-off, sending it down. Peter Slad going to kick it over to Max Lindborg. Now Florida's possession resuming. In the center there, going off the stick of Bjerninen, and Santuleto trying to recover. Albin Hedstall with the steal. Shot attempt just high over the goal. It's going to be a Florida Vikings hit in. Hedstall to take it. Behind the goal to Hogland. Back off the boards. Over to Lindborg. Shot goes off the body of Rovinen. Eetu Vanjonpa trying to get the ball around. It's going to be a hit here for the Florida Vikings. Tensions only growing on the court. Kopetsky to Juha. Back to Ramirez, over to Larson. Pass down the line, trying to find Wojtek Janacek. He'll get it to Peppa. Back to Peppa Juha. Taking his time, not enough press from the Minnesota Growlers there to force him to pass. Florida essentially getting to have whatever time they want with the ball. Over to Juha, it's good. Number 10, Peppa Juha, adding another goal to Florida's repertoire this period. 7 minutes, 51 seconds still remaining in the third period. Florida extending their lead to 5 goals. Your score, Vikings 8, Minnesota Growlers 3. And it's certainly a return to championship form here for last year's MVP, Peppa Juha. His second goal on the game, coming in and already making a big impact for the Florida Vikings. He also serves as a boon for team building. He's a natural leader. That's what we saw bringing the Florida Vikings to a lot of success last season during Peppa Juha's stint as team captain. Ilmari Lehtinen driving down after the faceoff in Florida territory, coming around behind the goal. He needs support and won't find it just yet. Still keeping possession. Ball kicked away. Santuleto now behind the Florida goal. A chip pass down to Bjerninen. Emil Matson there with another steal for the Florida Vikings. Driving down now. Chipped away by Yipao Roila. Lindborg there to catch it. And to resume the drive here for Florida. Deep pass to Malmstrom. Over to Mattsson, just missing the timing for a shot attempt. Mattsson back down to Lindborg. Over to Williamson. Trying to find Strum there in the goalkeeper's area. Chipped away by Kuzmarski. Now it's Ilmari Lehtinen. The pass to Santuleto. The shot attempt saved by Peter Slad. Down to Ole Strum. Working towards the center lane. He'll pass it back down to Alexander Larsson. Both teams making substitutions here. Albin Hedstall. The pass down to Haugland. Shot attempt just wide left. Etuvanionpa recovering there for the Growlers, sending it around the boards. Kuzmarski unable to get there in time. Haugland, the pass, far side. Ramirez able to field it. Now it's Kotulwoto on an offensive for the Growlers, coming down. Able to box out Hedstall. Hedstall still able to come away with the steal. Now it's a wild, mad grab for possession. Hedstall coming out on top. The pass over to Kevin Haugland. In the box to Holomoski. The shot sailing wide right. Haugland still able to get it out to Alexander Larsson. Minnesota's defense forced in tight in their own territory. Rantala pressing full court on Alexander Larsson. The ball chipped out, but it's going to be a Florida Vikings free hit. Hugo Rovinen losing control of the ball there. Nicholas Ramirez recovering. Nicholas Ramirez over to Pepayua. Back to Ramirez in center court. Speeding up the passing pace. Lindborg's there. Behind him is an out route. Kopetsky now driving down into Minnesota territory. Down the line to Wojtek Janacek. Kopetsky in the goalkeeping area. The pass to Lindborg. Unable to get the angle on Hugo Rovinen. Pepe Juha coming down for support. Instead of going to the center to Ramirez. Losing control of the ball. Once again, still able to keep it even with 3 Growlers on him for defense. Wojtek Janacek. Pass goes off the foot there of Auroila. Sent into center court. Lindborg once again recovering. Pepe Juha, far wing. Deep shot attempt. Wojtek Janacek trying to chip it in. He'll miss the ball. Still able to get it to Jakub Kopetsky. Over to Max Lindborg. Kopetsky coming around in the center. Back to Lindborg. To Juha behind the goal line here of the Minnesota Growlers. 5 minutes remaining in the third period. Florida still with a 5-goal lead. That's 2 unanswered goals just this period. Minnesota has been starving offensively ever since the beginning of the second period. Florida continuing a dominant performance here so far. Pasi Arvinen saving that goal from Williamson. Ilmari Lehtinen sending it down, just saved by Peter Slad. The Growlers with another offensive chance, trying to get it into Leto, kicked away by Slad. Another save off of a Santuleto shot attempt. Advantage play granted here to the Vikings. Janacek, the pass to Larsson. Larsson taking his time. Malmstrom over to Ramirez. Rantala capitalizing, driving down. Can he get a goal around? Again off the foot of Peter Slad. Nicholas Ramirez recovering well here. To Strum trying to find Williamson. Kyle Kuzmarski, this is his first game for the Minnesota Growlers. He's already been a great defensive presence. A lot of steals, a lot of blocked shots. Making a big impact so far. Bjerrinen to Rantala. He'll lose control of the ball. Malmstrom trying to capitalize. On the far wing, still battling for possession. Chipped away by Larsson to Luke Williamson. But the steal by Kuzmarski. Shot attempt by Bjerrinen, just sailing out of bounds. Just a tad high over the goal. It's going to be a Vikings hit in. Hedstall to take it. He'll pass to Liam Williamson. Lindborg driving down to lose control of the ball. Valtteri Rantala shot wide left. Peter Slad going behind his own goal, just keeping a foot in the goalkeeping area. Sending it down now. Hedstall missing that ball for a shot attempt. Holomoski still recovering. Rantala again, another great job creating a fast break offensive, but Hedstall's there to ward it off. Sending it down deep to Haugland, just off the foot of Pasi Arvinen. 3 minutes remaining in the third period. Auroila going to the ground. It's going to be a penalty call. And it looks like that's number 23, Liam Williamson. getting sent to the penalty box. That'll put Minnesota in power play here with 2 minutes, 56 seconds still remaining in the third period. Receiving some advice there from Pepa Juha. Williamson, of course, a returner to the Vikings squad. Pepa Juha serving last season as his captain. And current team captain Linus Malmström discussing with the referees. But it looks like the call won't change. It's going to be Minnesota looking to try to make a last-ditch effort here to gain some traction and put some more goals on the board before the end of time. And the shot attempt by Bjernen right off the free hit, saved by Petr Slad. Advantage play granted to the Growlers. Wojtek Janacek retreating now into power play defense. Jipau Roila over to Bjernen. Taking it slow here so far for the Growlers. Jipau Roila looking for an opportunity. He'll go to Bjernen. Once again, we're seeing a lot of perimeter passing so far, biding their time until they can make an opportunity. Tuukka Hiltunen trying to get a shot opportunity off. Saved by Slad. Now it's Kopecky driving down on a fast break, coming around, looking for a sweep shot. Sails out off the body of Emily Bjernen. It's going to be a Florida Vikings hit in. And now off the back wall to Pepa Juha. Florida still mounting an offensive despite being a field player down. That pass just missing Nicholas Ramirez. Emily Bjernen on the recovery here for Minnesota. Pepa Juha still playing a full court press. Certainly a player with a lot of energy. Looking to make up for lost time here with the Vikings team. The pass cross court to Rene Koutuluoto. 1 minute has passed so far in power play. Minnesota not with a lot of offensive chances made just yet. Auroila back to Bjernen. Over to Auroila. Bjernen losing the ball. They still have it at the point. Down to Lamari Lehtinen. Once again, losing control of the ball here. Down to Auroila. Auroila cross court to Lehtinen. And it's good. Ilmari Lehtinen, number 10, putting the Minnesota Growlers on the board for the first time in the third period. It's another goal for one of the league's top scorers. That's his 8th goal of the season, his 2nd this game. And Ilmari Lehtinen, now with 18 points on the season, still in 3rd place in the NAFL scoring race. And now coming back down for the face-off with 1 minute 31 seconds remaining in the third. Your score now, Florida Vikings 8, Minnesota Growlers 4. Recovery by Florida on the face-off. Valtteri Rantala showing some hustle, able to get there first. Lindborg recovering for Florida. The pass to Hedstall, close wing, driving down quickly into Haugland. Trying to get a shot off, but it sails off the backboards. And after a high stick call, it's going to be Minnesota's ball. The pass to Koutuluoto. Olomoski starting to press. Ball sent up in the air. Vanjonpa able to get it to Koutuluoto. Vanjonpa and Haugland in the far corner. Able to get it to Koutuluoto. He's got a little bit of breathing room. Cross-court pass off the board to Valtteri Rantala. 1 minute remaining in the third period. Chipped away by Williamson, but it'll still make it to Koutuluoto. Sending it back down. Rantala, shot attempt from deep range. Goes off the body of Liam Williamson there. Coming back out after his penalty, after the Minnesota power play goal. Albin Hedstall there on Hugo Rovinen losing his stick. Max Lindborg, the deep shot attempt, sailing out off the body of Kevin Haugland. It's going to be a Minnesota Growlers ball with 38 seconds still on the clock. Kyle Kuzmarski will send it down off the boards. Intercepted there by Alexander Larson. Send it back around. Petr Slad kicking it to his own man, Ilmari Lehtinen. Slow to get up off the ground. It's going to be a Growlers free hit off of a push call. 31 seconds left on the clock. Emily Bjernen set to take it here with Jipau Roila. Leto there also for support. Leto to Bjernen. Down the line to Eetu Vanjonpa. Shot attempt wide left. Saved by Peter Slad. Down the line. Now it's over to Pepa Juha. Pass blocked by Emily Pierinen, and Vanjonpa going to the ground. It's going to be a Minnesota Growlers free hit. 20 seconds on the clock. Certainly a few exciting runs here as we get ready to cap off the third period. Yipao Ruela set to take it. Chip pass in the center, trying to find Leto. Alexander Larson able to get there for Florida, sending it on the close boards. Kopetsky over to Juha. To Janacek. Just chipped away, messing up the trajectory there with Jakob Kopetsky. 5 seconds remain. Yipao Ruela in the far corner, facing double team defense. And with that, your final score live from Winter Haven, Florida. To start the second week of NAFL play, it's the Florida Vikings 8 over the Minnesota Growlers 4. Floorball fans, what an incredible way to start the second half of the NAFL's regular season. A high-scoring, high-output game by both teams. The Florida Vikings advancing to 5-1 on the season. The Minnesota Growlers falling to 4-2. Certainly going to be coming back hungrier than ever tomorrow. Stay tuned. We're going to come to you in just a few seconds with an exclusive post-game interview. Well, floorball fans of the North American Floorball League, we have just finished the first game of our second week of play here live from Winter Haven, Florida, with a Vikings win over the Growlers. I'm joined here by new addition to the Vikings team, number 26, Altman Hedstall. How are you feeling after this first win?
A bit rusty, to be honest. The first period was not good, but then we stepped into the game and we finished strong, I think. So nice to get a win, first game back here in Orlando.
How did you establish a mindset heading into the second and third periods, coming off of a tied first period? What was the change there from the locker room to bring it out onto the court?
You know, we knew that it would be difficult with a lot of new guys also coming in. So it took some time to adapt and find the roles, but we just kept with the patience. We knew that we have a squad that is deep, so we know that just keep pushing and then the goals will come.
And what do you think is going to be the key that you're taking from this game into the next half of the season here?
No, but we knew that Growlers is a good team. We lost to them back in Texas, so a nice win and we can just keep going.
Very nice. Albin, thank you so much for joining us. Congratulations on the win. Floorball fans, thank you for joining us tonight. Don't worry, we're going to have more floorball action for you soon as the Fresno Force take on the Texas Tornadoes live at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tomorrow, right here live from Winter Haven, Florida. Floorball fans, thank you so much for joining our broadcast tonight. Until next time, I've been your host, Tanner David.